Alright, so I've got a chicken with Bumblefoot, and I'm getting set up to take care of her Bumblefoot, and I'm going to do my best to show y'all what I do. But what I'm going to first do before I go out there and get her is going to set up my hot water with epsom salt so it can cool down a little bit. I still want it warm, but I want it cooled down enough that when I grab her and put her in here, it's not going to hurt her. So what I'm doing first is I've got some epsom salt, and I'm going to put a couple of tablespoons in here with some hot water. I've got it heating up over at the faucet right now. Okay, so I've got my hot water in here and my epsom salt, and I stirred it around. I mean, it's pretty warm to the touch, but not scalding. I'm going to put the lid on right now, and I've cut a hole out of it, and you'll see why shortly. But I've put a lid on there to keep some of the warmth in while I go grab the chicken. It's Amethyst that have it. While I'm out there and getting her, I'm going to check my other chickens. I'll try to take y'all with me. I'm not sure how much of this y'all can see, but they're all sleeping. It's easier to do it at night. She's the one that has Bumblefoot, but I'm going to check the rest of them while I'm out here. And I don't have a way to prop this up out here to try to film that, and it doesn't look like it's picking up very good anyway, but we shall see. Alright, I'm going to try to hold her up and show you her feet. So, she's got it on both feet. Here is one foot. Can you see that? See how swollen and red it is too? And then the other foot, if I can get it on camera, is the worst one. It's really red and puffy. So I'm going to get her in here and get her soaking. Now what the lid does is it holds her in there, keeps her feet in there, and I only have an inch and a half or so of water and Epsom salt down here. And I'm just going to let her soak for about 20 minutes right here. And that'll soften it up so then I can treat them. I'm going to get all my stuff together and then I'll show you what I do. She's a whiner, so I'm going to get her a few treats just to keep her occupied. And help pass the time. She can use the extra protein to heal. Okay, while she's soaking, some of the things I've got together are vet wrap. I've got a non-adherent pad I'm going to cut. Some triple antibiotic ointment without pain relief. I've got some chicken tweezers. I've got these marked with the blue on the handle so they don't get used for anything else but chickens. You also always use gloves when dealing with Bumblefoot. It's a staph infection. You're fine. She might even take a little nap. She's mouth breathing because she's stressed, and she sees my cat walking around too. I've also grabbed the designated chicken burrito blanket. She's actually relaxing. She might even take a nap. And she's only got about 5 or 10 more minutes to soak. We're going to soak them both really, really good. I'll do my best to show y'all this. I'm going to lay her up here and get her legs. She's not going to like it, but I'm going to get her legs behind her. But kind of like how you lay a chicken down with her head and hold them down. You're going to want to burrito her up and tuck that towel under her, or she will just get out of it. All right. Now, let me get my chair set up. She's going to be fine, but let me get my chair up so I can get up here and show y'all the feet, get the camera set up. Okay, I hope y'all can see this and that it's bright enough. But you see how that is there? First thing I'm going to do is spray it with some of the veterycin. And I'm going to take my tweezers and I'm going to do my best to get this core out of here. And sometimes they flinch and sometimes they don't. It is a little painful for them. They don't show pain like we do. Chickens are very good about hiding their pain. But the main thing we do is got to get this core out of here. I may have to soak her a little bit more, we'll see. That actually looks pretty superficial there, believe it or not. I mean, it's... Anyway, that's what I'm doing, is working on getting this core out. I'll come back when I've got it out and start wrapping it. All right, now, if you're the least bit squeamish, now is your cue to look away. And this is not that bad, but I just want you to see. I've got that core cleaned out and it leaves a little cavity. This one was so deep I actually had to use a scalpel to get it out. And I don't recommend that if you're not a medical professional or don't have medical background or you haven't been shown how to do it properly. But just know that is an option. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is spray it really, really good with the veterycin. We're just gonna let that set just a minute or two. I want that to kind of dry and get in there and clean out that wound really good. I know, sweetie. I know, you're doing so good. And this is the worst foot. I've still got to come back and do the other foot. It won't be as bad though. But we'll come back in just a minute after this dries. Well, that one's soaking, and I just pulled this one out. It just came right out. It's not as deep as that one was. But you can see some of this little loose skin here. It'll just pull out, and you want to get that whole core out of there. Spraying down my tweezers again. We can just keep everything as clean as possible as you can. And do not do this without gloves. That staph in here. Okay, now I've switched over to clean gloves. And I've cut my gauze pad into 4s. And I've got my triple antibiotic ointment without pain relief, and I'm just going to put a little glob on each one of these 4x4s. The veterycin spray is dried, and then here's the challenge, is getting this on there. But once I get it on there, I'm going to get my first piece of vet tape. I'm going to wrap it around between their little toes. Okay, and around their ankle, kind of like if you were wrapping a boxing glove. Okay, go between their little feet, and you just kind of got to work it in there. Okay, and I find that if I just go between one set of the big toes and around here, right this, and then come back with a second piece and go up the ankle a little, they hold very well. Okay. And you don't want to pull this stuff too tight because it tightens up once it's on there. So just don't do it too tight. It will tighten up on its own a little. Okay? And then just make sure it's stuck down everywhere. And then I'm going to repeat this on her other foot. I'm going to make sure I get some of the antibiotic ointment down in there. Get my vet tape. She's being so good. In here, go around, wrapped in my boxing glove. Around her little claws, up between the big one, back around again. Just loosely and pressing it down, and then come back with my second piece and go a little more up the ankle. And I have never had other chickens peck with this as long as I don't use red or pink. So, you know, I'm gonna go out here and put her back on the roost, and she'll wake up, she'll walk around, and she'll walk around like nothing, like she's just fine tomorrow. But I'll give you all an update here in a couple days. Now, I will change this every day for the next couple of days and soak her if I need to soak her. But after that, I'll just leave it on there for a couple of days at a time and then change it until they're pretty much healed up and closed, so probably a week or two. Chickens heal remarkably fast. But let's get her out of this. Now, this blanket is a designated chicken burrito blanket or towel. It's a beach towel, and it only ever gets used on chickens, especially once you treat Bumblefoot with it. Now, it'll get washed by itself and my other chicken stuff, but don't ever use it for humans at that point, just because, I mean, the heat in the dishwasher will kill the staph, but you can never be too cautious. And I will stand her up here and let y'all see. And I'm gonna sterilize my stuff and get it back in my chicken kit. Good girl. Let's get you some sunflower seeds. There you go. Good girl. So that's how I treat Bumblefoot. And then one more thing, when you're cleaning your chicken soaking bucket, wash it out really good, spray it down with bleach water, and let it air dry. And then even though I had puppy pads down when I did this, I'm wiping down my table with Lysol. Now, I like the brown bottle concentrated Lysol, but I'm out of it right now, so I'm just using Lysol wipes. The Lysol will kill the staph and any of the germs.